have Blessing Agadi. Yes, but also I go by George Lucci. So, a bit about myself. Well, I am a compare, a voiceover artist, and when I'm not busy charming your faces here, I am also a mortgage specialist. Come on, clap for me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I'll be your guide through today. Yeah, so you're here to network, you're here to connect, free to do that. And I will be your guide through today's meeting. So once again, welcome to the UK Property Investment Conference. And I really want us to appreciate some set of persons. I call these persons the real VIPs, yeah. They took time out of their busy schedules to be here today. So ladies and gentlemen, I want you to put your hands together for yourselves. Yes, you are the real VIPs. Thank you. And also I would like to recognize the speakers for today's event. Yes, and I want us to appreciate them with an applause when I call their names, all right? So we have Ross Fleming. He's the Global Sales Director of IPG. Ross Fleming, can you wave your hands? Yeah. Also, we have David Monday. He's the Sales Director as well of IPG. Dave? Yeah, that's Dave over there. And also we have Azim Ahmed Khan. He's the founder of Proptech Clicpad. Azim, please. Yeah, that's Azim over there. And also we have Abiodun Durosumi Eti. He is the Overseas Street Investment Director. Please clap. All right, thank you. Also, we have Deji Naham. He's a mortgage and financial planning expert. Mr. Deji? All right, so we're going to start just now. So I want to talk about the speakers. Yeah, so I'm going to make welcome the IPG to come say some things about IPG. You get to know about IPG, you get to know why we're here. But before I welcome them on stage, I would want to read their biography so that you know more about them. All right, so I'm going to start with Ross Fleming. Ross' career began as an officer in the Royal Air Force before transitioning into the real estate and investment industry with a central London agency. He then moved into development, gaining global experience, including nearly 3 years in Hong Kong and China, and over a year in Austria, focusing on property markets in European and UK cities like London, Berlin, Porto, and more. Recognized for setting high standards and developing innovative business strategies, Ross is a crucial member of IPG fast-growing team. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's make welcome Ross Fleming. All right, so while we wait for him, I'm gonna read about David Monday. David Monday started his career in the banking and finance sector, working for one of the world's largest banking organizations as sales director. His role is to oversee the team of portfolio managers, investment consultants, and investment coordinators, ensuring clients' investment aspirations are met to the highest standard, as well as leading the team David's Integra in designing bespoke portfolios for investors worldwide. So ladies and gentlemen, with a clap innovation, let's make welcome David Monday. David, where are you? All right, so please be seated while the start. Thank you so much, David. Thank you, Ross.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you very much for coming today. It's an absolute pleasure to be here in Lagos, Victoria Island, Nigeria. First time here, and I've had a wonderful experience of how welcoming the people have been. So I just want to say thank you so much for seeing so many faces coming here today, and basically, letting us present to you about Integritas Property Group. I'm going to hand over to my colleague, Abiodun. Say it better, sorry. And then we'll kind of go through what we're going to be talking about today. And just once again, thank you so much for your response in coming here.
Thank you, Ross. Thank you, everyone, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. We would like to first apologize for starting a bit behind schedule. I'll just take you through a few slides about IPG. Integritas Property Group UK. We've been in the UK business development of real estate in the northwest part of England, focusing mainly on Liverpool, Manchester, Bradford area, and Newcastle. We've had like 15 developments, 13 are sold out. Currently, we have 2 others that we're selling at the moment, so you are going to hear more about them as we move on. By the end of this year, we expect that we will have completed 400 apartments in terms of launching, and we have over 1,000 plus number of apartments that we have launched as a property developer in the northwest of England. Why about Integritas Property Group? We are an ethical property developer in the UK. We pride ourselves in ensuring that we constantly engage our investors and subscribers on a monthly basis. Part of the things we do is that we ensure that every single project that we have investors or potential investors, we send messages to them, and we also ensure that they know where we are. If we have challenges, we communicate those challenges to them. If we are going towards any stage with the government in terms of planning approval, we communicate all those stuff to the investors. Part of the strength of Integritas, we can see, I will probably not go on each one. You can see with the local market, we have invested about 100 million plus in the Liverpool market alone. That is excluding the Manchester, Bradford, and Newcastle area. Because this is the skyline of Liverpool. This is our development portfolio, and you can see the development timeline. We started with Wishing Well, which has been delivered. Same thing with Joe. Bastion Point, we just completed that this month of November. We are in the legal completion stage. Cavendish Waters, Sovereign Points, and Waterhead. Those are all sold out, but they are in the planning stage at the moment. Lyceum, we have in the construction level. You will probably see some of those pictures in the other screen. Copper Box is one of our commercial buildings converted to residential in the affluent area of Liverpool. That was sold out, and we have tenants for all the landlords for there. Central Point, currently we are under construction. Box, Dakins Yard, we should be completing that one by December. It's a PBSA, that's purpose-built student accommodation. And Portside, you're going to hear more about this particular tool in the course of this presentation. Okay, this is the team. CEO and founder Michelle Walsh is not here to join us, so Ross is standing in for him. We also have Emma Greenaway, our operations director, and of course, Ross Fleming, the global sales director, myself, David Monday, and Ryan Guest is our head of development. Of course, we don't have everybody here, but these are part of the management team of the company. So I'll call on Ross to continue with the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abby. So I'm briefly going to cover why invest in the UK. It's multifaceted. It's a really impressive opportunity in terms of we see a lot of global investment, and there's lots of reasons as to why. But in particular for the property market, the real estate market, The UK property market, in particular the buy-to-let market, is one of the most resilient and strongest growing markets within any sort of investment class. Research by Keller Williams has shown that prices have continued to increase year on year, with an increase of 14.1% over the last 3 years, even since the EU referendum. And even with massive disruptions with such as COVID-19, growth has persisted and continued to grow even throughout these very difficult times. Over the past decade, we've seen UK property prices generally increase year on year between 3 and 5%, and this is no different to the areas that we build our developments in. And on top of that, we are seeing very strong rental yields in all of our locations, which range from around about 3 to 7%, offering some extremely strong returns. But one of the key factors is this change in the sort of demographic of investors and renters in the UK property market. Since 2001, so just over 20 years ago, only 10% of the population were private rental, whereas now, so 20 years on, we are now seeing a 20% of the UK population market choose to rent a property rather than buy. And this is for various reasons, but as an investor, that just shows you the strength of that market has doubled in the past 20 years. And as I say, year on year, we're looking at around about 4.7%. So this is really good. Take a picture of this. This is one of the key things that we certainly see as to why people invest in the UK property market. So very strong market growth, as I say, and very consistent as well. So even during geopolitical difficulties, other sort of crises such as pandemics, etc., we always see a very strong investment in the UK property market. One thing that a British saying is, it's always sound to invest in bricks and mortar. And basically that means the property market, buying a property, is one of the safest ways to invest your money. And this is the reason why. Basically, there is a supply and demand imbalance. For the past 20 years, the government have announced that we need to build roughly around about 300,000 houses every single year to match the demand and the requirement that is currently happening in our country. However, we have never yet met that target, not once. So only the highest I think we've ever achieved is 216,000 here in 2023. So we are way behind that target, therefore that supply demand continues to increase in terms of the range. Competitive rental yields, so as I say, that rental market is growing, so we're seeing huge rental jumps in various locations such as Liverpool and Manchester that exceeds the national sort of average, as it were. So 7% is generally the average you can get in Liverpool, where UK average is around about 3.5%. The economy in the UK is very strong. It's a very stable currency and a general very stable government as well. So once again, we're seeing a lot of stability in there for a lot of international, sorry about the feedback there, a lot of international investment due to those reasons. So there is a lot of government support as well. So one of the things that we've been seeing is, certainly in the northwest of England, a lot of focus has been on London, the capital, in terms of investment into the capital of UK itself. However, there are key cities such as Liverpool that have had huge amounts of money pumped into it in what the government called up the levelling up process, so levelling up other parts of the country, and Liverpool has had a huge benefit of this, and this is where we obviously focus a lot of our developments. There's been a huge spike in population growth, so we are seeing now 3.2 million people over the past decade. The population has grown, and with that obviously demand for property, both rental and buying, has obviously increased as well. But one of the things that I'm going to talk to you a bit about a bit later is about the regeneration projects, and Liverpool in particular has probably one of the most exciting regeneration projects in the whole of Europe, where huge amounts of money are being pumped into these cities such as Liverpool, which help to increase the property values, driving up those prices, and therefore making it a really fantastic investment opportunity. And these are generally the reasons why people invest in UK property. So without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to my colleague Dave, who's going to talk to you about one of our schemes, Deakin's Yard. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you for that, Ross. Good afternoon, everybody. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you and be here in Nigeria. And I can only thank you for joining us today to listen to our presentation. I'm here today to talk through a development of ours called Deacon's Yard, which is a purpose-built student accommodation located in Newcastle-under-Lyme. But before I get into the details of the individual development, I think it's really important to explain what purpose-built student accommodation is and how it can benefit each and every single one of you as a prospective investor into the schemes. So purpose-built student accommodation is exactly what it says. It's property designed for the student market, used exclusively by the student market and population. Here in the UK, we have one of the highest amount of students currently enrolling into higher education. A lot of that comes from international students, and we actually see a fair share coming in from Nigeria themselves, hence why I've got Abiden with us and Sola there, lovely to see you, where they've been involved in projects in the student area before. Occupancy rate for purpose-built student accommodation sits at 95% across the board. So what you're looking at is one of the strongest asset classes when it comes to property in the entirety of the UK. So if you're looking for safety, if you're looking for security, and you're looking for consistency, then purpose-built student accommodation is what you need to look at. In terms of appreciation, over the last decade, purpose-built student accommodation has increased by about 25%. So you've still got a great element from a capital growth perspective as well. And when you're looking at the annual yields for these, you'll typically see them between 6.5% to 8.5% depending on the project, which will exceed your standard residential projects. So why have we targeted Newcastle-under-Lyme? I can imagine a lot of you sat here have never heard of this location. I can imagine. Newcastle-under-Lyme is a really leafy suburb servicing two major universities. Firstly, Keele University, which specialises in medical and law, and Staffordshire University, which specialises in engineering. Both of these locations are about 2 miles from Deacon's Yard as a development. So from a transport perspective, it's absolutely incredible. There's over 27,500 students that are enrolled in these two universities with a huge undersupply of purpose-built student accommodation units. So there's a big push from the local authorities and councils to get developers like us involved into that area. In terms of the university itself, Keele University, over 70% of its students have to live off campus because they don't have the facilities to live there. This is where enter me and Ross, Abby and Mitch, who come in and provide the housing for those students and the opportunities for yourselves. In front of you, you'll see the actual map. Now, as I mentioned, Newcastle-under-Lyme is a very leafy suburb with Keele University sitting in 600 acres of Staffordshire countryside. Very leafy, very green. Not what you would typically see of a university town. If I highlight just here for you, transportation. So this is the actual bus route for the students. They run every single 15 minutes and they service both of the universities. What you've also got is number 4 on the map here, which is the Royal Stoke University Hospital. It's one of the largest hospitals within the area, spent over 300 million on it 5 years ago, condensing a number of different hospitals into one location. What it's also home to is a Keele University Medical School, which itself houses 650 NHS doctors that goes back into the system year after year. So it's really integral for our infrastructure in the UK and a really important medical school. So the development itself, the offer, what are we doing here? Deacon's Yard has a variety of different properties, studios with their own en-suites and shared kitchens, apartments with kitchens in themselves, as well as 1-bedroom apartments and accessible apartments as well. Your entry point is around £86,000, but what we offer on this is an 8% net corporate let for 3 years. And what I mean by a corporate let is we, as a developer, sign as your tenant. So it's a guarantee from us that we pay your rent every single month. There's no third-party management company involved in that agreement. It's direct with the developer. Leasehold on these is 999 years, so we classify that as a virtual freehold, and that is a nil ground rent for life. So there is no point you will pay ground rent from any of the developments that you purchase through Integritas Property Group. Obviously, a highlight on the location, it is a 30-second walk into the town centre, straight across the road. and you're looking at 10 and 15-minute drives or bus journeys to the closest universities. The development itself is fitted out purely for students, so it's complete with cinema room, studio, study rooms, residence gym, bike storage, as well as concierge. We run a 24-hour concierge service. The development itself actually has 5 full-time members of staff on it to ensure that it's maintained and looked after, but also that the students, especially the international students, are safe while they're staying here in the UK. I'll give you a little bit of an overview. So what you'll see on the screen there is a apartment complete with kitchen. So we call it a self-contained apartment for short, because the student doesn't need to leave the room. The apartment itself is $92,950. So for the first 3 years, you're looking at a net return of £620 per month. I will highlight that again, that is net. There are no other costings to come out of that. Once you hit year 4, your net returns finish, and you then go into renting the property directly. With that, you actually see an increase in the rental asking price for these properties. So by the time you're looking at year 4, your actual net guarantee on it is going to be about 8.68%. So instead of seeing a dip in year 4, you're actually seeing the increase and maintaining that over the period of your investment. And who's going to manage it? Because it's not going to be me. I don't deal with tenants. I deal with you guys. So we employ a professional company called Homes for Students. They are one of the largest student operators in the UK, managing over 35,000 apartments from London up to Edinburgh. They will be on hand 24/7. It's their staff members that are based on that scheme to ensure that it's run. So they look after the building, the block, the maintenance, and the individual letting for the students. So we've got a really great network of partners to ensure that this is a smooth transition for you and also for us. And that for me is a highlight on Deacon's Yard. In terms of the purchase process, Ross will cover this slightly later. Firstly, you speak to one of the designated investment consultants, of which they are dotted around the rooms, or by all means come and find me. I'm not that hard to miss, as you can imagine. And we will go through the availability and the apartments that you've got. Once we've done that and the reservation has been paid, we will introduce you to our progression department based back in the UK. They will handle all of your exchange of contracts, paperwork, and help you throughout the process. Now, because Deacon's Yard is completing in December, what you would actually typically do is a simultaneous exchange and completion. So you'll be exchanging and completing at the same time. So you're receiving your returns from day 1 of the point of completion. And now what I'm going to do is hand over to Ross, just have a little run through on Portside Place. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave. So you've heard about our PBSA scheme in Newcastle-on-the-Lyme, and now I'm going to go through with you our Portside Place scheme in Liverpool, which is a private residential scheme. We've currently, as Abe mentioned, we've actually launched 15 schemes, and we've sold out of 13 of them. So one of the problems is we cannot build them quick enough. So this is one of our live schemes currently in Liverpool. So why Liverpool? It's the home of where our CEO and founder, Mitchell Walsh, it comes from and is based, but it offers an incredible opportunity. And I mean, one of the best opportunities you can possibly find in real estate in the world, and I'd say for certain, one of the best in the UK. And the reason for being that is as follows. So the net yields that you're seeing in Liverpool far outweigh what is seen in the UK average. So average is around about 3.5, 3.6, but as mentioned, it's much higher here in Liverpool at 5.5 to 7% basically. Affordability, key thing that you obviously have to think about when renting a property or buying a property. Average price in Liverpool is around about 180 as of mid last year, and the UK average is just below 300,000, so a huge difference there. Very strong economic growth, so we are looking at a circa 2% growth in 2022, and this has very much been driven by some of big corporations moving into the area, and also a digital and technology and creative sort of drive and industries. I think personally the biggest thing that makes Liverpool one of the most attractive investment opportunities is the regeneration projects. I did touch upon this earlier very briefly, but I'll go into a little bit more detail in this. This being around about £14 billion is being spent in Liverpool over the next decade. A huge amount of money. And that is coming from regeneration projects such as Liverpool Waters, which is £5.5 billion. Knowledge Quarter, £2.2 billion. £500 million being spent on the connectivity and transport links, which includes the airports, railway stations, the underground system there, which is one of 4 across the UK, and various other big regeneration projects, such as the 10 Streets project, the brand new Everton Stadium. Not sure if any of you are football fans, but home of Liverpool and Everton, big rivalry, brand new stadium there for Everton, and other amazing projects such as One Liverpool big shopping centre. So this in itself is going to boost property prices without a doubt in this area, which makes it a really attractive and lucrative opportunity. The student population is also driving that rental demand for investment. So there are 3 major universities in Liverpool. We have Hope University, Liverpool John Moore University, and the University of Liverpool. University of Liverpool is in the top 200 in the globe, so a fantastic university. And this houses over 70,000 students across the city. So once again, you're seeing a huge demand for students looking for property to live in. Also to note, tourism culture in Liverpool is fantastic, receiving around about 60 million visitors every year, whether it be the Beatles tour, the museum, or going along the Mersey, or going to watch the football. It draws in a huge amount of people. And this generates around about £5 billion for the economy each year. As I mentioned, strong rental demand. It's not just students, but it's also young professionals. As I mentioned, we've got lots of corporations based there, such as Capgemini, Bosch, Amazon, Sony, all basing themselves now in Liverpool because of the affordability and the draw of educated and postgraduate students. As I mentioned, the transport links are fantastic. So Liverpool John Lennon Airport sees around about 5 million passengers every single year. And the railway system also has around about 35 million passengers every single year. As I've already mentioned about sport, a huge passion for sport, especially football with Liverpool and Everton. I'm more of a rugby man personally, so it's an odd-shaped ball for me, but it does draw a huge amount of interest into the area. And then the quality of life. There are loads of green areas around this area. So we are very close to Wales, only 30 minutes, which is very countryside and beautiful, right next to the River Mersey, and once again, it has a wonderful quality of life. So that's why I think Liverpool is one of the best places to invest in the world, if not the UK. So the location about Portside. So we have the city centre around this area here, and we are just south of the city centre, right next to Brunswick Station. Brunswick Station is one of the train stations, underground stations, that runs every few minutes going into the city, and we are around about 30 seconds walk away from that station, which takes about 3 minutes into the centre here at D, which is basically Liverpool Central Station. So within about 4 to 5 minutes, you can be in the centre of Liverpool, which is absolutely fantastic. Yet you get the space and the views of the River Mersey, that it has beautiful views to offer, and has lots of other amenities all around it, which is fantastic. We have other incredible sort of areas such as the Liverpool Yacht Club around this area. We have the Baltic sort of market around this area. So this is a cracking location to be in as well. Going into a bit more of a honed in map view. So once again, we see Portside Place here and Brunswick Station just here. But you can see right next to this, we have lots of sort of fitness opportunities here. So we are right next to a Pure Gym here. One of the great things about Integritas and the things that we generally produce is our very low service charge for our private residential, and that's because we don't throw lots of amenities into our schemes, and therefore raising those service charges, making it very high cost. What we do is very strategically place our developments in areas where there are lots of amenities all around, such as Pure Gym, for example. So we don't need to have an in-house gym. We also have the Baltic sort of Atlantic track run along here as well, which is fantastic, which runs all the way up north of the city. And we have various other things around very close by, such as Brunswick Dock. So you really are on the water's edge, which is absolutely fantastic. So just to give you a bit of a breakdown, prices starting from 181,000. As I mentioned, a very, very fantastic opportunity here, with rental returns around about 6.25 to 6.5. We have 198 units in total across 2 blocks, with 147 one-beds, 42 two-beds, and 9 two-bed duplexes. We actually also have parking spaces here, so there are 70 parking spaces here, which we sell for around about £5,000, with that leasehold, as Dave also mentioned, of £999. The service charge is outlined there as well at £2.80 price per square foot. So, as I mentioned, 30 seconds walk to Brunswick Station, 10 minutes to the Baltic Market, and only 25 minutes walk if you wanted to walk to the city centre, so ideally located. And here is a typical one-bed apartment. So very nicely laid out, nice square layout, so very easy to furnish and manage. And this is coming in at, sorry, I can't see the price there. Sorry, it's around about 185,000. Apologies for that. So parking, as I say, £5,000, and we're looking at a rental yield of 6.25, which is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Moving on to a 2-bed. So very spacious, once again, comes with balcony, 24 square foot balcony, total square footage of just over 600 square foot, which is fantastic. And once again, coming with a rental yield of 6.25. So one of the things that we like to offer, which I think a lot of our international investors really appreciate, is the fact that we offer a full turnkey service. So we are partnered with, so part of Integritas Property Group is Curlett Jones Estate Agents. So we are partnered with them, and they will look after you in all aspects of renting out your property, the handover, the tenancy. All those aspects that we covered here are going to be looked after and come at a very, very affordable rate of 6.5% plus VAT, which is one of the lowest you'll find in the country. And they have recently been voted Best Estate Agent and Property Management Company in the UK in 2024. So absolutely wonderful company to work with, and very, very experienced dealing with international tenants as well. So as Dave mentioned, the step-by-step process. So if you are interested in a particular scheme or a particular unit, you would speak to one of the designated property consultants which are dotted around the room and discuss your options, as well as myself or Dave. Once you are found your specific unit that you're looking for, we can then obviously take a reservation payment on that and then look at introducing you to our progression team once that unit has been taken off the market. We have our own in-house sales progression team that will look after you throughout the whole process, as well as giving any updates, let's say build updates. You will receive a build update from us every single month. One of the things that really stands out IPG from any other developer that I've ever worked for is the fact that we do these build updates every single month on your scheme. So you'll get that update every single month via drone footage, video footage, and pictures as well. So you'll get that fantastic information all the way throughout the process. Step 4, moving on to solicitors. They're both instructed, and therefore the legal packs, legal and sales packs, are going to be drawn out and therefore are sent to you. And then from that, there is the point of exchange, where the remainder, which can either be 20% at exchange or 10% plus a further 10% 3 months later. And that is where you exchange contracts, and the remainder is then paid upon completion. The completion of this scheme is Q2 2026, so you have about 18 months or so to obviously find funds, get yourself in a situation where you are able to then complete, which is a perfect running time, I'd say. And then we do have recommended solicitors who are very au fait with working with international clients, and that would be basically Arch Law, who we use regularly and are very, very quick. The average time to exchange in Portside Place over the past 3 months has been 22 days. So a very smooth and speedy process. So I'm now going to hand you back over to Dave, who's going to discuss loan notes. But once again, thank you so much for your time and listening. Thank you.
Some of you in here probably like the idea of investing in property, but may not want to own the physical asset. And this is what I'm going to talk to you about very briefly this afternoon, which is the IPG loan note. IPG is a development company. We've been operating for 4 years, and over the past 4 years, we've gone from a startup developer with a portfolio in excess of £180 million. Now, we've managed to do that by offering opportunities to investors like yourselves to provide a level of seed capital, where you're able to win and we're able to win. The idea behind Integritas is that everybody makes money together. We are a relationship company. We don't want to work with you once. We want an ongoing relationship for years and years and years. And this is a great way for a lot of individuals who want to get involved, but without the individual hassle of owning a property. Now, in essence, it's pretty straightforward. You have the opportunity to invest between 1 year and 2 years a level of seed capital. For that, you will get a guaranteed fixed return direct from the developer. For a 12-month product, we pay out at 10% per annum. For a 2-year product, we will pay out at 14% per annum. As you can see on the screen in front of you, the returns are paid on a quarterly basis with the capital redeemed at the end of term. Now, there's a lot of parameters around this individual product that I'm sure many people are going to have a lot of questions on. So what I'd like to do is invite you to come and find me later throughout the day, and any questions you have on this product, please just fire them across and I can run through everything for you. I'm just going to hand over to Ross just to finish up.
Thanks, Dave. So we're now going to have a small break for lunch, and then after that we'll be handing over to Azim and Deji, who will be discussing a bit more about the process and about how to set things up to make this a really smooth and efficient process. But if you do have any interest in finding out more about Deacon's Yard or Portside Place, please do come and find myself or Dave, or about the loan note. Please do speak to both Dave or Abe. But thank you so much for your attention, and I will speak to you shortly. Many thanks.
All right, thank you. Just as he has said, so it's time for lunch.
They have this student development up in Bradford, right by the university. Actually drove up there from London and saw this building in place, everything in place. Being a Nigerian, I had to do my due diligence and make sure I wasn't going to be ripped off. And I was kind of quite impressed. I went further. I then invested. I bought 2 units in this development. And on completion, there was some problems with the University of Bradford, which was next door, literally next door, and the company Elevis, which is Elevis also. Is Elevis also? Because later on,
This is their agency side.
oh, Elevis is just the agency side. So we're still talking about Integritas Property Group. So I went ahead, bought 2 units. It was off plan. Was completed as scheduled in the following year, and students moved in. Can I say disappointingly now? Disappointingly, 4 or 5 months after that, the students had to leave. We got letters that the students had to leave. Apparently there were problems with the electricity going through. There was a generator, one of these big generators like we have in Nigeria was put in there, council not having it, all kind of drama with the council. Much to my surprise, money stopped coming in, just for a short period though. Got in touch with Integritas again, and we were told to hang on, that there were some deliberations with the university. That they were in deliberations with the university. All this took about 3-4 months, and true to their word, they told us, just hold on, we will be paid. In 3 to 4 months' time, I started seeing, I got a whole lump of money. All the arrears were paid. I was quite impressed, and ever since then, I've been getting monthly dividends on each unit. I'm not into math, so I can't remember the percentage, but it's nice money. So basically, these guys, I'll say they're quite honest. I've been doing property development now in the States and in the UK. I can't afford London. London is just, you're priced out of London. So having to go to Yorkshire, Bradford was the only solution for me. So I just want to say you're in good hands. You're in good hands. If you do invest with these guys, you're in good hands. Best of luck.
Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you. One more person I'd like to invite up is Sola. who has also invested with us, so she can give a bit of a testimonial with her experience. Thank you so much, Shola.
Hello everyone, my name is Shola Odusayan. So just like the earlier speaker said, I invested with Elevis, a part of IPG, a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago I think. And what I'd say is definitely they're very customer centric. They always ensure that, you become like part of a family. I've visited them a couple of times, and anytime I'm in the UK, I'm always at their offices, and they'll come and pick me, keep me in their one of their developments, and all that. So they're very customer centric. If they run into any problems, they would definitely, go through the motions to ensure that, it's resolved. And like you said, they've been consistent, even when they have issues, they're consistent in ensuring that your payments still get paid, even though they'll be sorting it out in the background, but they'll ensure that you get your rental payments. So you're in good hands, they're honest, and I think that's one of the things I've come to realize, and they're always, they're not the sort of people that, maybe you have an issue and then you call them and then the phone just goes off and you're like, they'll speak with you and they'll work through the solution with you. So, I'm pretty sure that if you invest with them, you'll be happy. I've been with them for a couple of years, and they also do things with the IPG, they also do the loan notes. I've also done that with them, and they've been very integral in that respect as well. So, they're in good hands. Give them a warm Nigerian welcome because they're here with us.
Thank you so much, Bella. So, as has been mentioned, integrity, transparency, communication is at the heart of everything we do. We are an ethical developer, and it's lovely to hear some of the feedback that we get from our clients. So, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, sir. What's your name?
Okay, my name is Byron.
So, what do you do?
I'm a banker.
Oh, that's amazing. So, what did you enjoy so far in the event?
Well, the event was amazing, at least for clients who wants to invest offshore. We'll look into this direction, especially with the ROI.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, that's amazing to hear.
Thank
So, would you guys be investing with us soon?
you. We'll be looking at it. We'll be looking at it.
Okay, that's amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I love your suit though.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Hi, ma'am. What's your name?
Hello, I'm Uju Abbas.
What do you do?
Oh, I wear so many crowns, but today, okay, let me just make it brief.
Okay.
I run a referral company known as I Refer. So I connect buyers to sellers, clients to their customers, and the beautiful work in between I perfect. I just ensure that the both parties are happy.
That's amazing. So, what have you enjoyed so far in the event?
Oh, interesting. Actually, this is my first investment outing, and I'm glad I was invited. And is a very big investment space that everyone should tap into. I'm wowed at the growth in 4 years, right? And it's really amazing, and I recommend that everyone should go beyond the borders. And
Wow. That's amazing. Thank you so much for coming. Nice having you.
thank you.
Hi, ma'am. What's your name?
Abisola Taiwo Oluwatoyin.
Wow, amazing. So, what do you do, ma'am?
I'm a real estate consultant, full-time.
Full time. I love the energy. Full time. All right, Ma. So, what have you enjoyed so far in the event?
As a real estate consultant, I actually like the fact that we are going global and everything. So I enjoy the fact that the UK property is coming to Nigeria, and I'm happy to be the part of the project. So as the program just started, the little I've heard about the property and everything, I think I'm okay. I'm awesome. I really want to do work with them.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for your time. Hi, what's your name?
Oh, my name is Jennifer.
Jennifer, what do you do?
I'm into real estate. I'm CEO of Jarvin Homes Limited.
Wow, that's amazing. So, what have you enjoyed thus far in the event?
Wow, it's so amazing. I like the fact that UK are coming to Nigeria, and then that's collaboration. This business, we all need to collaborate. Sometimes you're in Nigeria here and you have a opportunity to sell properties in the UK, but there is no agency that you can reach out to. Understand? Now that these people have come now, we'll partner with them and we'll be in Nigeria selling properties abroad and making money in dollars. So I like this opportunity and I'm grateful for it.
Wow, thank you so much. We're so glad to have you here. Thank you. Hi, ma'am. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Jennifer Onsisi. I'm the lead consultant of Emina Properties here in Nigeria.
Awesome, amazing. So, ma, hope you've enjoyed the event so far.
It was awesome, and I believe real estate has gone past our locality, and I really learned a lot. And as it is, conferencing is about networking, consultations, and learning. And I learned a lot about properties in Liverpool because of the populated diasporan student there. So if you're looking at owning a place in the UK, Liverpool is a good place to be because you get return on investment, high returns on investment. I believe that's the key to investing into real estate.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for coming, ma'am. Thank you. All right, hello, what's your name?
My name is Ebonoluwa Fatoyibo.
Fatoyibo. Wow, awesome. So what do you do?
I'm a developer here in Nigeria and also a Proptech owner in Nigeria.
Oh, that's amazing. So hope you've enjoyed the event thus far.
Yeah, sure.
So what have you learned? Come on, tell me.
Oh, well, a businessman in Nigeria is obviously already looking for ways to diversify based on how our currency is shaking. So this is an opportunity for an investment in the UK in pounds, and all their packages sounds good, and with the testimony of the customers that they have, they sound trustworthy and people with integrity. So yeah, I've enjoyed all through, and I'll be looking towards the opportunities that they offer.
Wow, awesome, amazing. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Hi, what's your name?
Bajide.
Bajide, what do you do?
I'm a realtor.
Oh, amazing. I love you guys. Your energy is just out of this world. Welcome. So, what have you enjoyed so far about the event?
Yeah, I like the fact that the company has been showcasing most of their off-plan projects within the UK. Most of the reason, one of the important reasons why I came here was because I have a couple of people, because I market for Hamba. Do you know Hamba students? Hamba students in the UK. So I market their student properties. So as I've been doing that, I've had a lot of Nigerian people living there who want to buy properties, especially in the off-plan. So when they ask me, because I don't have anything to offer them, so when I heard about this, I said, let me come because it's most likely what I'm going to get to pitch to those people. So and I've been here and I've seen I've seen the one in Liverpool, which I think that I would actually want to get more information about, so I can pitch to these clients.
Well, I'm sure you do that.
I would.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Okay. All right. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Rafael Meriki.
Yeah, what do you do?
I'm an engineer.
Awesome. An engineer that is camera shy. Come on. All right, so that aside, so what have you enjoyed so far in the event?
Basically, I like everywhere is arranged. The presentation was actually properly arranged. It was well presented, and I can understand what is going on I don't want to mention other interviews, so I can literally understand what they are saying and what they have to offer properly. It's properly documented.
Yeah, so you probably in time you try to refer, also probably invest. You have plans for
Just
that?
to invest, not to refer.
You don't refer now. Bring other people in as well.
I'm not much of a promoter.
I understand. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tessie Umejesi.
Tessie, what do you do?
I'm a real estate expert.
Awesome, you look so smart for that. So what have you enjoyed so far in the event?
Yeah, I love the composure. I love the way the settings, especially the investors, the foreign investors. I love the way they arranged the whole settings, because it's a privilege of attending such events, especially the foreigners coming down here to at least partner, to get investors to invest in their own country. So I'm happy to be here live and also be part of it, to learn and to engage, to connect.
To connect. I love that, to connect. Thank you so much for your time. is Azim A. Khan. He is a dynamic entrepreneur with extensive experience in business and banking, specializing in real estate investment in the UK and UAE. He established GCF Mortgage in 2016, delivering tailored mortgage services that cater to the unique needs of clients in both regions. With a deep understanding of the property market, Azim has successfully guided numerous investors through the complexities of securing financing. With over 8 years of hands-on experience in manual international property investing, Azim has developed a keen insight into market trends and investment opportunities. In 2024, he launched Clicpad, a tech-driven Proptech startup designed to streamline the property investment process through innovative technology solutions. So ladies and gentlemen, please, with a clap and ovation, please let's make welcome Azim Ahmed Khan. Keep clapping till he gets here. Thank you. Oh, you're here already, I'm so sorry. Can you just sit while you wait for Sir Deji? All right, so the next person is Deji Nahan. Deji has supported, I don't know if you all have looked through your pack. Yeah, so he's the one that wrote this book. So Deji Nahan has supported multiple property purchases and has established himself as a trusted partner in securing both residential and investment properties. He has strategic alliances with other professionals like solicitors, accountants, surveyors, builders, etc. to facilitate seamless and stress-free property completion. Deji is vast in the property market, both in UK and international, with experience of dealing with big projects and helping with development finance. Deji has worked with many Fortune 500 companies on various projects, some of them on Santander Banks, Lloyds Bank, Barclays, Wealth and Investment, HSBC, Standard Life Investment. All to recap, Deji is also interested in helping Nigerians as well understand UK mortgages and how to make you push through with investments and all. So ladies and gentlemen, with a clap innovation, let's make welcome Deji Nahan. Thank you so much, sir.
Afternoon, everyone. How are you? All good? How was your lunch? Good, fantastic. So thank you for the warm welcome to Lagos. I've actually been here several times. It's not my first time in Lagos. I've probably been here about 10 times now, actually. So you are very welcoming individuals, great people to work with. And like I said, I won't bore you too much. I'm here just to discuss Clicpad, what we do as a company, and how we can actually integrate technology in terms of buying properties. Sorry. All right, so Clicpad. So Clicpad is a Proptech platform. So I'm sure you're familiar with technology as to how technology has been integrated into property buying process. So what we do as a company, we have introduced a digital process for buying international properties. So what that means, rather than a manual process, we have created a platform where you can actually reserve a property, select solicitors, conduct your AML KYC, which is your compliance, and exchange contracts in a single platform. Rather than chasing emails or forming up different departments as to what stage your property is at, we've integrated a whole platform where it's a single step from your mobile phone, and you can actually do the whole thing at your own convenience. So it's a really interesting the way the technology is actually moving. We've also introduced artificial intelligence and machine learning. So it's a progress that is actually developing, and it's actually moving away from the manual process into a more digital process in the time and era that we actually are in. So just to give you a bit of background about Clicpad. So I'm originally from Manchester myself. You can probably tell from a Manchester accent, it's quite strong. But I moved over to the Middle East in 2012. So I've been living in the UAE for about 10 years. So we actually do the UAE properties, plus we do the UK mortgages and the UK properties. So we've created Clicpad, we've tested it in the UK, it's been successful. We've tested it in the UAE, it's also been successful. And to be honest with you, for the past probably 8 years, I've been selling international properties to the Nigerian market, plus to your neighboring countries like Ghana, South Tong, UK properties, but on the manual process. So we understand there's a demand for UK properties, but what we've done is we've just simplified the whole buying process by introducing a Proptech platform. What we want to discuss today is the buying process, or what is the buying process in the UK. So we've integrated a 6-step process. So basically, you can discovery phase, which is obviously you browse to the properties that we have on our platform. You reserve the property, which you can do online. Legal, which is obviously the solicitors. So their role is actually to do the compliance and the AML and the KYC. Then the transaction completion, where you can actually exchange contracts legally through the system. So that's generally the whole buying process in terms of buying international properties. So just to give you a little bit information how it looks. So Mr. Deji is actually one of our partners that works with us. So he actually uses our platform. So we have about 26 other partners that work with us. So basically what you need to do is obviously visit the website. You can go on to, you can register your clients. It's absolutely free to do. So you can register through either WhatsApp or email. Once you've registered, then obviously you have a client dashboard where you can actually log into your client portal and actually see your progress of each application stage. It's real time. So any notifications in terms of your buying process, you'll be notified by WhatsApp or by email, depending on which channel that you've actually registered. Like I said, it's very straightforward to do. We focus in the UK and the UAE properties. So IPG is one of our actual developers. So we have about 80 other developers that we work with. And the UAE, we have over 200 developers that we work with. So it gives you an opportunity to actually see what's happening in terms of the market, in terms of constructions, and obviously the projects and stuff. So it's a really, really interesting to actually, when you get time to have a look. Once you reserve the property, as mentioned previously, you can actually do everything online. It's massive, just click in reserve, and that reserves the property. And at that point, that's when you start introducing the solicitors and the whole buying process, which normally takes about 21 days to complete. Just to move along, obviously we have a panel of solicitors that we work with. Obviously each developer will then obviously have a recommended solicitors that you can use. Panel of solicitors that we use are integrated in our system. So basically you don't have to chase your emails or chase anything. You just log onto your platform, log onto your client dashboard, and you can actually see each stage, what's been notified, what's been shared. So it's a really simplified process of buying properties in the UK. Completing AML, which is anti-money laundering, and KYC, it's a key factor buying a property in the UK. Everyone has to do that. So regardless if it's myself or anyone else in this room, if you are buying a property in the UK, that's a key factor. The great benefit of us, we've actually partnered up with Smart Search, which is a leading provider for AML and KYC. Normally takes 2 weeks to do, but we actually complete it within 5 minutes. So it's basically just holding your phone, verifying yourself, and we actually then populate that report. And that completes your AML and KYC. So UK is a regulated sector. So buying property, everyone has to go through the AML and KYC. So we've really simplified the buying process in terms of time and obviously the whole management side of the process of AML. Obviously the next part is once the AML is done, obviously the solicitor will then do the due diligence, make sure everything's fine. Your contracts are then prepared. That gets uploaded onto your platform. You then obviously download, you can do a DocuSign, and that actually completes your whole buying process. What would normally take 21 to 28 days, we can actually complete the whole thing within 14 days. So that's the whole benefit of how we will actually work as a company. So just to generally give you an idea of Clicpad, what we do. I also want to just discuss Integritas, obviously IPG that we work with. On today's offers, we have some really good offers on today at the moment. Generally, £8,000 savings on the day is a fantastic offer. Plus, there's a lot of flexibility in the payment plans. Generally, you normally pay around about 20%. So there's a lot of offers on the day that actually people are looking to obviously to buy today. We're here to support our partners like Property Concierge, which is Mr. Deji, and obviously our developers that we work with, which is IPG. I can probably talk a lot more, but you'd probably get bored of me, so I won't bore you too much. I think it was just me to give you an idea what is the buying process. And obviously when we do the Q&A, we'll be happy to discuss a bit more in details as to how it works. But overall, it's a simplified process. And like I said, we're here to support and to work with you guys. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, really happy to have you here, and I know you possibly have left a few things just to be here, and we really appreciate your time. I think one of the reasons why we decided to do this is for so many reasons. I mean, we've got clients from Nigeria buying into the UK, and usually people come to buy individually. And for me, I always feel like they don't understand the process. And one thing I thought would be helpful, I know everybody is at a different stage, so I want to maybe cater for everybody. Some people don't even understand what UK property is. Some people don't understand why they want to buy into UK. Some people don't even understand the process. So what we're looking to do is to provide the education. I believe as a financial planner and focus on mortgages, I believe people need to understand the investment they are doing. They should be able to wake you up in the night and say, what have you invested in? What's the reason for that? What's your returns? You should have good idea about that. So one of the things I've thought would be useful, we all have this in our book. It's taking you through the process. We don't feel like you might not know enough. We want to take you through the journey. It's a journey buying property. And for me, I always say, in terms of mortgage, it feels like you are in a marriage. It's 25 years, sometimes 30 years. So we want to get it right from the onset. And that's why we partnered with people that we know they are trusted and they are vetted and they would make a difference. So we'll just go through a few things. And for me, I really wanted to bring you home. I know we'll do a Q&A after. I know people should have questions because not everybody is aware of off-plan. There are off-plan developers in the room, so they understand what that is, but maybe not understanding the UK off-plan and why people should be investing in off-plan. So that's part of what we're talking about. So, sorry. So, we've talked about properties, we've talked about the process. I think one of the things I always say to my clients is there are possibly 4 things most of my clients kind of think about. Is either people don't know they can invest in the UK. A lot of people don't know they can invest in the UK. 2, people don't understand the process or they don't have a team to make it happen, which is why we've got a team in here. 3 is people don't, which is a big deal for me. People don't actually understand they can get a mortgage for properties in the UK, even if they are living abroad. And that kind of take it to a different level. When you're thinking about investment, you're thinking about leverage. I know Nigerians, we don't do a lot with leverage, but as an investor, investment is a business. So you need to be thinking as a business. What is the return on investment I'm getting from an investment, not for emotional reasons. So that's one of the third things. And the fourth thing is, I think over time, I've just realized maybe there's about 12 different reasons. I've had different conversations with my clients in terms of why they buy into the UK. So we're going through all of that. So mortgage in the UK, just to keep it simple, we all possibly would understand what a mortgage is. Maybe not very in the position in Nigeria as you would have in advanced country. But what that means for an investor is, as an investor, you're bringing in maybe 25 to 40% of a deposit, of a down payment. So take someone in Nigeria that wants to buy a property, maybe if they want to build a property, you have to have all the funds yourself to be able to build a property. Maybe some banks will give you some finance, but that is killing. 28% thereabouts. I think that's the numbers I'm hearing, which is killing. I don't know how business could do well with 28%. So, and that brings up the next point. Like, it's then looking at how can I live in Nigeria but invest in UK. There's quite a lot of reasons. We're going to that, but that's the simple way, simple process I want people to understand. We've been able to help a lot of clients in different sectors to be able to buy property in the UK. And that's what I'm bringing to people. You might be in this room not in a position to buy a property yet. You might have partners. We can create a win-win situation. You might be here thinking about, oh, I've got properties in Nigeria. I don't discount Nigerian property, but it gets to a time where you want to diversify yourself. And that's what we're looking at, global wealth diversification. If you're wealthy in Nigeria and you're not thinking about the global impact, then you're missing a point. So that's one of the things I just wanted to make people understand. So basically, I think in the UK, what interests most people will be the buy-to-let mortgage. I know we have the residential. I won't talk about that. Residential is where you are having a mortgage for yourself. Some lenders do that, but for some reasons, we don't have one. I think we have 1 or 2 lenders, but we won't focus on that. We're talking more about buy-to-let mortgage. What that means is, as an investor, let's keep it simple. We want to invest 200,000, which is about the price point we're talking about with Liverpool. You want to invest 200,000, you only need about 25% to 40%. I said that because different people would have different requirements or different criteria to meet. So that's why we say 25% to 40%. So a lot of my investors will say, okay, I can afford to buy a property in Lekki, maybe 200 million, maybe 300 million. It means that I'm only buying an asset. But if you think about leverage and you can use the same funds, maybe to buy 3 or 4 properties, and you are putting your money in an economy that is a lot more stable, and you are getting returns. I always key on your property should be a business. You should be getting returns from your investment. So that's quite good. Commercial mortgage, we think is a different thing. I don't want to bore you with everything. One of the things we are good at is understanding what lenders work well with foreigners. I think that is really the thing that we focus on. How do we help Nigerians living in Nigeria to actually get a mortgage in UK? It's where we put our time to. And we've been quite successful working with different people. But that is the yes, some clients could get a mortgage from a Nigerian bank, but we realize that sometimes there's still a bit of work that is required in that. So we work with some, but we've got other lenders that doesn't care if you have an account in Nigeria or not. They would still be able to give you the finance, which is where it gets interesting. So there are some criteria to meet, so it's not just easy and for everybody. There's 2 sectors I would focus on. There are people that are employed. So we work well with people that are employed because they've got regular income, they've got things well structured. A lot of lenders really make it easy, and it's a lot more fast-track process. Then we got a lot of people that are business owners, and I know we have a lot of business owners in the room. That takes a different level of due diligence in terms of getting mortgage. I won't lie to anybody that you can just come in and get a mortgage like that. One of the things we do from an education point of view is to prepare you for what you need. The way things happen in Nigeria is completely different from what we have in the UK. So we want to see, okay, what's your situation? How can we work from your situation and get you ready to be able to get a mortgage? That's really the thing. And the good thing is, obviously, I'm Nigerian. I understand what people say they carry cash or how people spend their money. I understand all of that. So I can help to say, okay, this is your profile. This is what you do. Can you work with an accountant to help you put your structure in place? So for a business owner that might not have the level of structure that UK work, we would introduce you to some partners that have already done it for some people to say, we know you have the funds, we know you have the assets, we know you should be able to qualify for a mortgage in the UK. This is how we would help you. Because a lot of people don't have what we call paperwork. They don't have a trail of how their business needs. So we need to make that structured to make it easy to get a mortgage in the UK. So the important thing people want to know is income verification. We say something about source of wealth and source of funds. A lot of people would understand what that is. In the UK, it's taken very seriously. You have to prove where your income is coming from, where your money is coming from. I know Nigerians have side hustles, they have side things, which is fine, but we just need to understand where you are and help you prepare for something to be able to get a mortgage. And just to be clear, I know I'm talking about mortgage. Not everybody in the room, not every of my clients have just been mortgaged. A lot of people buy cash, and I'll talk about that also. So just when I mean cash, they pay full payment, not like they bring cash. But I think David said he's ready to take cash today. In case anybody has any shaka bag or anything, David is ready to take cash. So I've talked about the income verification, source of wealth, source of funds. That's the most important thing. UK want to track back, where is this money coming from? Money don't, yes, Nigeria, I know a miracle happens. We have to be able to work that miracle well to make sense. It has to make sense to the people doing the due diligence. So money just not drop, but I think it drops in Nigeria. So, but what I'm saying is we need to have a track record of where that source of wealth is coming from. Have you sold an asset before? How long have you been in business? How well is your business doing? What's the profitability of your business? All of that question will be able to satisfy it. It's not a big deal if we put you in touch with our partners to make it happen for you. So, and for some people, just to be honest there, it's a journey. Like I said, property is a journey. It feels like we can be married for the next 20 years, 30 years. Because if you buy an investment today, I'm sure in 20 years' time, you want to find out, how is my investment doing? How is my investment doing in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years? So it's a continuous thing. So we don't just want to sell you something today and we can't defend it in the future. So that is why we take things very carefully. Make sure you get it right. And that way you would have a long way to go. Oh, sorry. I've talked about deposits before, typically 25 to 40, at a stretch 50, but 40, it's a very place we would get most Nigerian investors to get property in the UK. Again, I'm a specialist mortgage broker. I focus a lot on Nigerians. I've had a track record. I understand how it works, so I can make it easy for the application process. You can go to your standard bank or any bank, but I believe that that will take you a lot more time. Really, so quality of life, I think I'll skip this. So I think one of the things I'm seeing more, and a lot of people would understand, I know there's a syndrome of Japa, and everybody wants to Japa and stuff, but now I'm seeing the movement of money going out of Nigeria. So people are living in Nigeria, but their money is jackpot to a different economy. Because yes, they are happy to live in Nigeria. Nigeria is a lovely place. I mean, everybody can give a testimony to that. But we are seeing a lot of funds moving out of Nigeria because people are looking for, where do I want to put my funds? Where do I know that I can have stable economy, and a few other things I'm going to touch on. Again, towards global mobility, people want to put their kids abroad. They want to prepare it for them. A lot of my clients have gotten into trouble where at some point they feel, I want to buy an investment, and that's a good thing when David was talking about the loan notes. A lot of people want to buy investment, let's say it's 200,000, and they are ready, they are happy. They buy now, in 18 months' time, when they want to complete, they realize that the money they were putting towards that is a different price point. So that's why the loan note is fantastic. So if you don't understand that, please ask the question. I think sometimes when we talk about finances, it goes over some people's head, but my job is to break it down for you guys. I love people to go away today to know, why am I in this room? Why do I want to invest? And what does that future look like? So wealth diversification is part of the theme of this. And that's one of the reasons why we came into Nigeria, to see how can we help people to diversify their wealth. A lot of reasons why, I won't go into the details, but a lot of the reasons why people diversify their wealth is economic stability, regional growth variation, in mitigating local risk. It's from a business sense, it doesn't make much sense for you to only operate in one currency. I realize that a lot of people are more global than even people living abroad. A lot of Nigerians living in Nigeria travel a lot more than actually the diasporas. So people are global. You'll say, oh, where are you today? I'm in Canada. I mean, people are moving. People have that global mobility. It will be a good thing to be able to get foreign income that is supporting that global mobility. You don't want to start taking your naira to be sorting out maybe your kids abroad or things like that. So there are different strategies. I know they've talked about this already. That is the good thing about UK. There is different pockets. And to bring this home, I'll say, I mean, this is Victoria Island. People that have bought Victoria Island 20, 30 years ago are talking differently. Now you look at maybe Beduleki or something. Again, people that bought it 5 years ago or people that are buying it now, in 20 years' time, in 10 years' time, they are talking about a different price point, which is why, for me, Liverpool is a key strategic place for people to key in into, because it's now at the rising point. And when people can key in now, it makes a lot of difference for them. I always say something in property. Yes, people think you make money in property when you sell. For me, I say you've done it wrong. You make money in property when you buy. Very, very important differentiation. You make money in property when you buy. And we'll talk about that shortly. Okay. So I talked about the 12 reasons why people buy. We talk about capital appreciation. Yes, property appreciates in Nigeria, I have no doubt. But what I've realized over time is it's not structured. Mr. A can sell a property for 100 million today, and Mr. B come tomorrow to feel, oh, I've got a pressing need, I've got a pressing issue, and they sell the same property for 60,000. Nothing to the surveyor or the valuation system in Nigeria, but I feel it's slightly different from what you get in the UK, because people are thinking about the finance. So if it doesn't stack up, then you're not getting a finance on it. So that's very big differentiation to understand. The currency security, people, like I said, wants to move or get some currency from abroad. It's a lot easier for them to be able to do their global mobility, to be able to think from a global perspective. Diverse property markets, we're talking about Liverpool. Even within Liverpool, you have the student market, you have the HMOs, you have the off-plan. So the good thing about UK is you have so many different segments that you can invest in. So 2 projects that has been discussed here today, we talked about Dickens Yard. If you are the one looking for cash flow, you want to get regular cash flow guaranteed for the next 3 years at 8%, that is an investment for you. If you're looking at a capital appreciation, when I mean capital appreciation, it means that you're buying a property now, in 18 months, 24 months, when the development happens, you have actually made money on your investment. So you have to work out what the boat is. And also talking about port side, one of the things people don't realize is there's a market in Liverpool currently for shortlets. I know a lot of people understand shortlets in Nigeria. The same concept is applied also in the UK. So we've got the education up. A lot of people have studied in the UK before, or they have kids studying in the UK. So it would always be something that stacks up. So global banking structure. So this is one ripple effect we see from stuff. So a lot of clients, we take them through how to open a corporate entity. That means you have a company in the UK. Like I said, your property should be a business. You should think from a business point of view, not from emotion. Some people, back in the days, people want to buy a property in London to say, I have a trophy home in London. You want to think about, is it bringing you money? If it's not bringing you money, then it's not an asset. It's a liability costing you money. So from that point of view, we look like the ripple effect from having a global structure is that you start having a global banking. So it's a difference, especially for businesses. Having a bank account in the UK and you're dealing with some level of business, you're seen differently compared to if you say, you're talking to a foreign partner, you say, can you wire the funds into my Nigerian account? The first thing they would think is, But when you start building your structure and your business outside Nigeria, it gives you that global banking structure, so which is quite a ripple effect. It's not the reason why people invest, but it's one of the things you enjoy because you're investing. Again, UK Global Financial Center, over the years, it has stood the time, so we don't even need to flog that. High rental yield, that is very important to me. Again, I'm very keen on education, and I tell people, do your maths. Understand the price point for investment in Nigeria, and check out how much rent you're getting. Take the same amount to an investment in UK, and check out the returns you're getting. As a business, you should be thinking about return on your investment. What you realize is UK is giving you better yields than you will get in Nigeria. Again, in Nigeria, common things, you could have a tenant move in for a year, it's all good, they look well, next year it's a different structure, it's a different story. So you might have liability because they say, oh God, please help us now, we lost job, there's so many reasons. But in the UK, one of the good things I tell people is, if you're investing, you want to do it right, working with the right partners, but more importantly, you want to have landlord insurance, which protects you in case you have tenant issues. A lot of people don't understand what that is, but we can explain it. Simply, what that means is, if your tenant is not paying, so there's a verification process to verify your tenants before they move in, but if for any reason they are not paying, in the future, you can actually ask your landlord insurance to take care of that. And from the second month, they'll be paying you back the amount you should be paid. So that is kind of giving you that peace of mind and is secure. So that's another differentiation. Stable economy, we know what that is. Mortgage for foreign investors, again, I said it. That is one differentiation factor that a lot of people don't understand, and it makes a big difference. Again, simple ways. You take the same funds you would have invested in Nigeria, you can multiply that into 3 or 4 properties, and it's yielding money for you. Think about it as a return. For some people that are getting close to retirement age, it's a retirement pot for you. Again, I tell you, retirement is different now. You're not relying on your children, that you sent your children to school, you want them to come and pay back. It's different, especially if you have your kids abroad, they feel like it's a different structure. So my advice to people from a financial planning point of view is to plan for your future. And people need to start now so that in 10 years' time, they can actually be ready for their retirement. So strong legal framework. People ask me, and how can we trust you? We've had issues in the UK and stuff. It does happen, but one thing I tell people is, what channel did you go to? Did you do your due diligence before you put your money in? People don't take education. They have their brother or their sister say, oh, uncle, brother, come and invest, and then they went through them. It's completely the wrong way to do things. So you want to get the right team to help you, and to your advantage, we've got a team here to support you as an end-to-end service. So legal framework, I tell people, one of our jobs is just to signpost you. All we need to tell you is Azim has talked about the KYC and all the smart checks and all of those things. We are only signposting you to the process. There's a process, there's a structure. It's very unlikely to go wrong. But if it does go wrong, I always tell people from an investment, if it does go wrong, you have third-party system to make sure that you don't lose your funds. So a legal system in the UK, they are regulated and protected by the Solicitors Regulatory Authority. If anything goes wrong with any of their solicitors, they would make sure that you get your funds back. So again, I tell people, it gives you the peace of mind. As far as you can read, you can write, see the contract you're working on, and that is good to go. A lot of investors that have invested have not left Nigeria before saying, it's all done online, it's all done on Zoom call. But we are here to answer a lot of questions to give you that level of confidence. But a lot of people have invested without the need to say, I need to come and see the property. I need to be sure this is correct. Everything is properly documented, which is a good thing. Systemized end-to-end. So that's where we come in. We help you with everything. Again, I believe in education, and I feel if you've registered, there's a lot of videos we have done in detail talking about these 12 reasons most people invest. And again, I answered some others about the concerns Nigerians have in investing in the UK. Just talking about UK, one of the simple things Nigerians tell me is they have that familiarity with the UK, unlike US. I know some people here have said they invest in the US, but UK, we are very familiar with the system. We can jump on a flight 6 hours and you're in the UK. That makes a lot of difference for a lot of investors. They feel like, okay, just in case, if I'm in the UK, I'd like to see my property, we can make that happen for you. So that is one of the things that comes up when I talk to my client. Because every client I have, I'll always want to ask them, why did you decide to invest in the UK? Why did you go through me? Maybe it's a referral, maybe it's not, but I want to understand what is their thinking. That helps me to be able to work with a lot more Nigerians. So watch the videos. If anything comes up, we are not just here for today. We'll be here for a bit after today. And if you have any questions, we've got contact details. We'll put some stuff in your bag. Please, we want people to be educated. We want people to know what they are doing. But one of the things, like I said, and Azim said, one of the reasons why we decided to put this together is to make people make money when they buy property. So I'll give you a simple example. So say you're buying a property worth 200,000 and I'm buying 200, you're buying 200. Because you're buying 200, it's a good investment, there's no doubt. But imagine you're buying it in this room, or you're buying it after having a conversation with people in this room. It means that I'm buying my property at 192,000. I say make money when you buy property, not think about, oh, I'm going to make money in 10 years' time. So working with partners that can give you that level of discounts, leverage, and more on the system. My duty, our duty, is to be able to hold your hand all the way. I know we've said a lot of stuff. Some of them might be confusing. Some of them might feel like you don't understand. So we are here to do after this we'll do a Q&A or something, but we are here to help you. Some are ready to buy a property, make a reservation, let your interest be known. For some, oh yes, we want to go and think about it. Still show your interest, because we want to be able to tie it to, oh yes, you told us you would make your decision or you will come back. We want as many people as possible to share, okay, yes, I've heard this for the last 2-3 hours. I want to make the next step. How do I go about it? So we've got people in the room that can help you to make a reservation or ask questions, or just put your name down to feel like, okay, I might be thinking of Dickens Yard because of the cash flow. I might be thinking of Portside because the capital appreciation. I want to tap into Liverpool as early as possible. Any questions you have, we are here to help you, but we want to take this journey to a long time. So please, thank you for coming. We really appreciate you. Please stay around for questions. So if you have any questions, let us know. I'm sure I'll leave it to you.
Thank you so much. Please, I want you to clap if you're clapping. All right, so it's Q&A session, and I believe we have questions, right? Right? Answer to the usher while I ask them myself. So please, I would love to see your hands up if you have a question. Okay, we have one. Okay, one over there. All right, so I think one mic should go around. Please, the ushers, please help me. I think this one should go around. You don't have to stand up. You can be seated while you ask your questions. Why this one goes here. So I think he has a question. No, here, there. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Adeogun Ayebola. Like what Mr. Deji said, he said if a client is buying over there, that there are steps or there are ways that you can check your investment over there. Can we know the step you take despite the client have not been traveled before? Then two, the other one I want to ask is, do you guys do co-own? I mean, like 2-3 clients come together and get a property over there. And how does it work? Then the last one, sorry, the other one is, we have been talking about investors, but is there any arrangement for realtors that by bringing clients, and what is in stake for the clients, for the realtor? What percentage are we going to do?
Okay, thank you for your questions. I'll take it in the order. So we are here to meet network and do business. So we can't do this by ourselves. The market is too big for us to do it alone. So we want to work with realtors, and that's something that's been introduced. So we can't say what the percentage is because we want to know what you're bringing to the table. But if you want to have that conversation with us, please show your interest because we know you have the clients. Because one thing I tell realtors is, yes, you're selling to people in Nigeria, but some of your clients are buying abroad. So you want to be able to help them in that journey as well. You will become more trusted because they know that, oh, this is not just my Nigerian agent. It can give me some plug in anywhere else. So it makes a big difference to you. But the second thing that people don't realize is a lot of your clients have properties abroad. A lot of them have paid up. So what if you then introduce to them, like, we can get finance for you? It could be 10%, it could be 50%, it could be what? But the money, you're not taking it to chop the money. You want to invest in property. Either they want to invest in the UK, we've got fantastic offers on the table, or they decide to invest in Nigeria. Any which way, you are helping your clients to be able to think more globally, and they understand you are bringing value to them. That's the first one I remember. The other one is the steps. So the steps, again, is tailored to each individual. Like I think I've gave like an overview for a business owner. It's a different thing to an employed. It's the same process, but the due diligence is different. For an employed person, basically what we know is where are they working, what income are they getting, do they have other assets and stuff. That is a bit more simplified, like I said. For a business owner, we need to know, okay, how much are they making? Making money is not the thing. That's just revenue. How much is actually coming to them? What is the profit they are getting? And from that profit, how much are they paying themselves on all of those things? So that is a bit more detailed, but it's better to have that one-on-one conversation with people. Like I said, we are not just having this event and we want everybody to walk away. We want to have conversations with everybody because you don't know the angle that might work for a client you have. So don't lose that opportunity. We want to work with as many people as possible. I think that's the third question. There's another question. Oh yes, that is a fantastic thing. For people that don't understand that, so, and again, in the UK, one of the things we encourage people to do is to have a limited company. When we set up a limited company, you can have 5 partners in a limited company, and they own the property together. One thing I say is, and that's one major difference, when you study the Jews, when you study the Indians, when you study other people that are wealthy, that control the wealth of this world, they do things as a collaboration, which is the reason why we want to collaborate with as many people as possible. So anybody that is thinking, I don't have enough, but I have a brother, I have a partner that we can work together, yes, that structure can work out. What I tell people is, it's an investment, it's a business. It's not family, it's not emotion. You have to put the right thing in place. There's your memorandum of understanding and all of those things. You need to be able to detail out, if somebody decides they don't want an investment in 2 years, how are we going to divest the investment? So you need to do those level of, I know there are lawyers in the room, but we can support you to do all that. I don't know if anybody wants to add anything to that.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, we have a question. Okay, sorry, sir. No problem. So sorry. And we have more than 2 lines. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Deji. I appreciate that. On that part, on that note that you mentioned, it is likely sometimes that you don't have any of your family or friends that you want to know about the, what's it called, the investment you do. Do you do an outside joint? Maybe someone came to you in another part of the country, then somebody is in Nigeria, they want to do the same thing, and they want to do co-own because they don't have the particular amount. Then what document is going to bind us to do that? Then the other one is, okay, maybe when I remember, I'll put in that. But let's do that. Sorry. What about the percentage that we mentioned? We all know we are Nigerians. What will happen in Nigeria is what you give out brings out the more in you. We should be able to have that percentage, and we should hear it today so that we know what we're going to work on. Thank you very much for that.
Okay. I know it's an important question to everybody, but what I'm saying is, and we need to be honest, we are not just bringing a figure from the air. We've had this discussion, we are ready to do business. So if you're talking with us, you want to do business, we didn't fly down to come and joke. We are ready to do business. So let's have that one-on-one conversation. It's different for different people. So it's just that it's different for different people. We have agents we work with, but it's different for different people. And if I just give a ballpark figure now, it might be confusing. Let's have that relationship. Buying property or helping somebody through the process is not just a one-chance thing. We want to maintain that relationship. Again, like I said, some people might not be ready to buy anything now, but it might be in 2 years' time. We want to be able to maintain that level of relationship to say, yes, we are good, we understand how we can come together and stuff. It's a win-win. So we are not looking to get the gain and make you lose. It's a win-win. But I believe that we would have a lot more value to anybody in the room because we've got everything systemized. We've got the end-to-end process. To your second question, I think it doesn't matter who you decide to come up with. Whatever, so a legal contract is just legal. One thing I tell people is you have to have that common agreement first. So it doesn't matter who that common agreement is. It's a lot easier when we both agree to say, guy, we want to come together, we want to do this. Let's now find a lawyer to make it solid. So either you are co-hosting with someone in UK, in Nigeria, you've already had that conversation to say, let's do this together. You've got maybe 20%, I've got 20%. Let's come together. This is the thing that is binding us. Create that level of understanding. Then give the legal person to just make it solid. Agreement without that first level of stuff, I feel is all gone wrong. So make it easy for yourself. I don't know if you want to add something.
Thank you, Deji. One thing about business is there are 2 stages. There is the trust aspect, which comes from commonality of understanding between you and the person. It could be within the family, it could be with friends, it could be with associates. There's this popular saying by Ronald Reagan, it says trust, but verify. After doing the trust aspect, you have to go to the verification aspect, and that verification aspect is where legality comes in. That's why we have lawyers. If not, we won't have a need for that. We've had cases that we've heard that even your blood brothers did not keep up to understanding and agreement. So it is not really about that. It is about having commonality of purpose, values, and after that, cement it with what they just said earlier on. Thank you.
It's interesting that we are able to get facilities abroad, but there are basics. How do we get bank accounts out there without a visa that allows you to stay more than 6 months? I'm not sure you're in position to do that. That really is my main concern. And in the absence of that, I don't know how far we can go. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. So regards to UK bank accounts, there are several banks that actually can offer you a UK bank account, which is a digital bank. So it's advised to register a UK limited company. Registering a company will actually give you a financial footprint. So when I say financial footprint, it's a footprint financially to show that you actually have some sort of a banking relationship. So as a company, we can actually support international buyers to set up a company and also to set up your bank accounts in terms of for moving money into and out of money. Hopefully that's answered your question.
anyone else?
So, just to add to that, I think to remove any level of confusion, like I said, a lot of investors have invested without even coming abroad. So you don't even need a 6-month visa. It's an investment, and I want to impress it on everybody to be like, it's an investment. I'm thinking about a business. As far as you've done your due diligence and you know where you're putting your money, and you have the legal system to support that, all of the supporting services, we got that covered. We've worked with a lot of Nigerians. We understand their pain points, and that pain point is what we want to help people with. That pain point is why we are here having this conversation. So you don't need a visa. It's not as complicated as it is. We can help you throughout the journey. So.
Thank you, Azim. Thank you, Deji. I would also like to add that most Nigerian banks now do have UK registered banks. So if you have a local bank, you could just speak with them. They do have so that way you can get things facilitated without leaving Nigerian shores, really. Unlike 20, 30 or 40 years ago, that those opportunities are not there. We do have that now in case people have visa challenges. But one area that I will most emphasize is the legal area that Deji hammered on. Once you do your paperwork rightly, and one of the things I will encourage people is that try to remove the emotional part. Like I said, you spend money to make money. Some of these services, you could use people to do it for you, so that removes all those pressures on you. A simple example is that, let's say you are making a rent of £1,000. You have a solicitor that will always assist you in looking at your property. You have tax consultants and so more expenses. Maybe that would take £150 off you, or £200. You have £800, and you can sleep with your two eyes closed without moving an inch. So that removes a lot of stress off you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Any other question? Okay, go ahead, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Medwa. I have a few questions. Usually projects are not delivered on time. If this is the case with IPG, by how many months or years has it been defaulted, and why? That's one question. The other one is that you capped for the student accommodation, it's capped at 8% net. So what happens if the property is doing better or vice versa? Can you tell me within the 3 years and after the 3 years, what goes on? I'll stop there first.
Thank you for your questions. Let's touch first on the event of a delay. Now, in the event of the delay, you will have something called a long stop date within your purchase contracts. That means in the event that the developer is unable to deliver the project by that said date, then you're able to exit the contract and recuperate all monies paid. That is standard in every single one of IPG's contracts, and typically is 12 months after the target completion date. But it can vary from project to project. We have got some that are 6 months, haven't we? So we have got some that are 6 months. So that's your protection element. What you also have within that contract is something called a unilateral notice, or a UN1 charge, which registers every investor who exchanges a contract as a charge holder or a preferential creditor to the developer. So in the event of something like an administration or something goes wrong, the UK government appoints an administrator to sell the scheme off. Everybody who's registered as a preferential creditor will get their funds recuperated. So hopefully that answers the first question. The second question about the 8% net, you are correct, that is capped for the first 3 years. Now, in the event the apartments actually achieve more than 8%, that's great news for me, because I get the difference. As we step into year 4, then you make the difference. It's really important to understand how rents work for purpose-built student accommodation. So rentals on PBSA typically compound at 4% per annum. So in reality, year 1, the apartments don't actually net 8%. They net 7.5% and we make up the difference. It means that by the time you get to year 4, you're exceeding the 8% mark and you've got a nice, consistent and comfortable stream of income. Hopefully that answers your questions.
Any other question? I think she has a question.
Okay, for the properties that are like for residential, right? These days, sometimes people buy property to do the Airbnb, right? Is that feasible? Do you look at that before people buy, just in case that is something they're trying to do?
Thank you for your question. So yeah, referring to Portside Place, which is our residential scheme in Liverpool, I can confirm that this is a short-term let approved. So Airbnb, Booking.com, this is available at our residential schemes. So yes, absolutely. Typically, an AST, so a standard short-term let, which is a 12-month contract, will bring in about 6.5%, 7%. On a short-term let, such as Airbnb, at a 75% occupancy, which is pretty standard within Liverpool due to its tourism and demand, you're looking between 12 and 15%. Hopefully that answers your question.
All right, thank you. Okay, one more question. All right, go ahead. Please give her the mic.
Okay, the last one.
Okay.
How do we find out about opportunities for secondary markets in the other things you've done?
Secondary markets?
So now you're here and you've met us, you become part of the family, which means all the internal mailers that go out will give you information about the secondary market opportunities. We only give it out to individuals that we've engaged with previously. So currently we have about 140,000 investors worldwide, but we keep it completely off market. But every single one of you is registered to be here today, so every single one of you will now become applicable for secondary market opportunities. Or talk to me after.
All right, thank you very much. Any other question before I read out this? Anybody? Okay, I'll just go ahead and read. Okay, this person is asking, are your property investments only in residential projects? Can I buy a property or invest in one that's going to be used for business purposes like a club or eatery or a lounge?
So IPG are primarily a residential developer, although we do have a number of commercial units within our residential schemes, we do not intend to sell any of them. We will retain them and we will lease them out. There is a reason for this though, because for us we're able to placemate an area. The whole part of IPG is regeneration. In order to do that, you need to put the right businesses into the right location to help support that level of demand. So we will retain the commercial units and let them to the businesses we know will add value to that area. Hope that answers.
All right, before we wrap up, any other questions? Okay. All right, just to be sure. All right, thank you so much. I would like us to please appreciate them. Why they go back? All right, so do you have anything to say to them before you leave?
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we want to say thank you for coming. President, some people came here before 11. Special thanks to them to really give time, and thanks for everybody. Whether you are headed there or late arrival, we really thank you for your time. We're still available. You can reach out to any of us to progress the discussion. Real estate is a marathon. We need to keep that in mind. It's not a short sprint. Thank you.
All right, please put your hands together. Come on. All right, thank you. Okay, someone has a question. All right.
Sorry. I just want to ask this question because, like now, most of us got a mail before coming here. How are we going to relate with each other with swift responses? And like maybe WhatsApp group, how do we get the admins and how do we talk to each other in case we have a swift one, apart from Clicpad?
Yeah, so I think it depends on what you want. Like I encourage everybody here, is show your interest. There's not everybody in the room that wants to do anything or are ready yet. So we're going to do a mail shot for thank you for coming and all of those things. But what is very important is we want to see your interest so that we can take that conversation forward. We can get mail shots from every of the partners here. Just making sure that you register your interest. Don't go and say, I'm going to think about it. Do what you need to do now, and then we can have that conversation about, okay, I'm thinking about this or that. Answer my question or something. I'm really encouraging people to, a lot of people come to conferences or seminars 1 hour after they've forgotten most things. So be active, show your interest, and then we can take that conversation on. The conditions you need will follow. I hope that helps everybody. So I'm encouraging you, even if you don't know what you are going to do, even if you don't know if you have friends that might want to do something, even if you think, oh, I'll be ready. Somebody asked me earlier, yes, I'd like to buy something, but my money's not ready. I said, show your interest, we can lock something down for you. So my encouragement to everybody is, we've made this possible to be able to give people, to make money while they buy property. Some people are not ready now, I totally understand that. But your interest would mean that we're having this conversation going on. This is not the only time we'll come into Nigeria, just to let you know. I think they are loving Nigeria thus far, so we want to bring them again, and hopefully we are bringing them to know, oh, there are people in this room that have had investments with them, and they can continue conversation. I know there are a few people I've met here that have had investments with them, and they are asking questions, when is it coming and stuff. So we want to have more people, more relationships that make sure that we can continue this conversation. We don't want the conversation to end here. We are still here for a long time this evening. We are here till Friday, most people. I'm here till next week. So let's book some time. We are available. We are here to play and do business with you guys. That business, we are not in a rush. That business might not come today. It might not come next week. But let's have the conversation going. So simple thing, simple summary. Show your interest and let's continue.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other question before I wrap up? Anybody? All right, thank you so much for your time. I know it's been quite a long day. Yeah, so we've come to the end of this conference, but not the end, like you've heard him say. We'll still be around. So if in case you have someone that could not meet this conference, they are still around to answer their questions whatsoever. All right, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for taking out time from your busy schedules to be here. We do not take that for granted at all. Thank you so much, and God bless.
So we've got things in the back. Some of the stuff we've done for the program, it would help you. I mean, there might be questions that come up later. So don't leave it on the table. Put it in your bag. We've got the books. We've got some content there. So let's keep the conversation going.
So in case you want to take pictures with them, so they're open, so you can do that now. I think do that. Can we do that outside or inside? Media, outside. Okay, all right, you can pass through this place. Thank you very much for your time. what's your name?
Yeah, my name is Abiola Ladajo.
So what do you do?
I'm a real estate consultant.
Awesome, amazing. I love your suit there. Thank you so much. All right, so what was your highlight from the meeting?
I learned quite a lot of things. One of which is that how it is quite easy for a Nigerian to invest abroad, and I also learned about the UK real estate market, how it's quite very easy to have people here in Nigeria invest without necessarily being there. And I also learned that they have quite a good legal system to enhance investment over there, and it's quite good to see that people in Nigeria can get to invest over there, and they are comfortable that the investment will bring returns regularly. And I also like the fact that we have some people that give testimonies about the investment there. I heard one or two persons talk about the credibility of the company. So overall, the conference has been a wonderful time for me to learn and to also network with some people. So I think I enjoyed myself. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
My name is Omotola Mamudu.
Omotola, you look so amazing. You're beautiful.
Thank you. You too.
So what do you do?
I'm into business. I'm a beautician and I'm also a realtor.
Wow, realtor. I love the way you Lagos ladies are just amazing.
Fashion and beauty entrepreneur and also a realtor.
Wow, awesome. So what was your highlights from today's meeting?
Oh, at least I get to know more about the international business, as in property investment and all that, to understand if you want to, or if you're in Nigeria and you also want to do go into property in the UK. At least I understand a bit about that, about the mortgage and all that.
Yeah. So
And
you
also
enjoyed
how to
yourself?
invest and also make money.
Yeah,
not
make
just
more
to-
money.
Not just to buy property like a liability, but also making money on your property.
That's amazing. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Motola.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Adeshina Taiwo Adidayo.
Taiwo, well done.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Yeah, I'm an actor. I'm a filmmaker and also a farmer. And aside real estate too.
That's a whole lot.
You just have to do things to make up the money,
I guess.
So to be able to have a real estate of my own.
Awesome. So what was your highlights from today's meeting?
Yeah, I got to know things here. I got to learn more. I got to gain knowledge which I've never even had the insight of. So now I think I'm so confident of how to talk to more clients and to be able to know, to give them the means to even invest in real estate.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Adeogun Ayebola Sunday.
So what do you do?
I'm a full-time realtor and
Amazing.
investor.
Awesome. I love the way you're just emphasizing on it.
Yes, thank you very much.
Well done. So what was your highlights from today's meeting?
Actually, I really appreciate this UK Integritas for bringing this kind of initiation to Nigeria. Then, with the few times that we are together, I understand that doing investment in UK, it's even good and better too, because they're not the only company that I'm working with. I work with Dubai too, but with this, I can see is a different type of summit that I see today, and with kind of things that we've discussed, they are good company that we can do with.
So that makes you want to invest with them.
Yeah, I'm going to invest more, but I don't want to say that on here. But I'm going to have one-on-one this conversation and investment policy.
Oh,
to
wow,
do that.
that's amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Nice
huh?
having you here.
And you too.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hi, guys. So we have two of the speakers for today, Ross Fleming and Dave Monday. Say hi.
Hi.
All right.
Hi, everybody.
So, due to the fact that you guys spoke today, so what was your highlights? Were you able to get what you wanted?
I thought it was fantastic that so many people came and were so sort of receptive to what we were saying. It was really, really impressive, and everyone's been so welcoming.
Wow, awesome. How about you, Dave?
I think for me, it's the engagement in the Q&A session and really getting to the bottom of people's questions and concerns about UK property market. Felt really fulfilling for me.
Amazing. So what else do you have to say to everyone out there listening to you right now?
Well, for me, I'd like to say a big thank you for having us here in Nigeria. It's massive. It's our first time here and the first time in West Africa. We will definitely be back, but thank you for your hospitality and we've really enjoyed it.
Thank you. What about you?
He's basically said everything I wanted to say there. But thank you so much for, like you say, your welcoming, your hospitality, and yeah, we will be back and look forward to working with you.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Ross.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. To you.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Dejinan. I'm UK broker and investment expert. What I focus on is helping people to invest their money into real estate and helping them to think about global world diversification. I'm the CEO of Property Concierge, and we are here in Lagos to help people in Nigeria to think about investment in the UK.
All right, awesome. So can we meet you?
Yeah, my name's Azim. So I'm a founder of a Proptech platform called Clicpad. So we've digitalized the buying process for international buyers, especially in the UK. I also run a fintech company in the UK and UAE, which is GCF mortgages. But like I said, we're here to educate Nigerian investors to buy in the UK with the support of digitalized platforms, and we're here to hold a hand and guide them through the whole process. Yeah, I think it was the numbers were there, so obviously the people were there today, which is more important. I think it was good educational to obviously educate the Lagos community in terms of buying abroad. And I think, as Deji mentioned, excellent services from yourself and your team. So yeah, overall, very good, very good.
Awesome. So what do you have to say to people out there watching you?
Yeah, I think just to summarize, I think one of the things that you say is, yes, we're bringing UK property for people that want to invest. Maybe a lot of people might not understand, but just to keep it simple, maybe people don't understand they can actually buy property abroad. They don't have a process, or they don't have a team, or they don't even understand they can get a mortgage. So we're saying that we are here to make all of that happen for you. An end-to-end service is just not buying or something. We take care of everything, and that's a good thing. We've got development that people could work with. We've got other developments that might be interesting to other people. So yeah, anybody that's interested in UK property, knowing more, investing now, investing in the future, I think now is the time to start thinking about global wealth diversification. And yeah.
Amazing. So one last word for them?
Yeah, I think the timing's right. It's never a bad time to buy properties, and I think, as Deji highlighted, moving money into the UK sector where it's a mature market, and it comes back down to educating clients to understand that there is options where they can actually use or utilize a mortgage. There's a digital platform like us, which is Clicpad, where we can actually do the whole buying process from start to end. So overall, excellent, and I think, yeah, it was quite a good
Amazing. So nice having you guys here. Thank you so much.